New Year's Eve, if you will. Having a hard time with this goddamn stream, but I wanted to build upon a stream I had yesterday. I mean, hopefully, if you guys found out about my channel and my largest live stream that I had yesterday, I mean, historic moment for a surf pop player of Brooklyn, in that I normally get like maybe like 5 people like in a live stream, nobody comments. But yesterday, in spite of the fact that it was a contentious debate or subject, whatever you have, you like, it was the first in which I had like people that I don't know like pull up and debate or contend or just chop it up with me. And even though like we may not agree, I mean, it's all love, you know what I'm saying? Like, whereas a lot of times I have these conversations and the most emotional person feels that they have the almost like a right, like, to basically, all right, like, you can't say this because of I'm feeling emotional. Like, of course they're not gonna say like I'm feeling emotional, but like, I don't know, I think these conversations at times, it's like almost like a pain Olympics type shit. And I get it. I mean, if you want to measure like as to what culture or what nationality goes through more pain, like, that's fantastic. But it shouldn't be used as an effort like to basically silence try like other people from speaking out on certain things. Like, well, I get that a lot. But yesterday, in spite of the fact that the cast that showed up or that pulled up may not have agreed with me necessarily in 100%, but you could talk and discuss things in a civil manner without you know what I'm saying, like tearing shit apart, like but without tearing each other down in a sense. However, like, I mean, like, one of the reasons I wanted to do this live stream this afternoon, or this fine New Year's Eve, is that a lot of times, like, I catch myself as the recipient of like daggers that are thrown in the direction of like Puerto Ricans. And I've endured that, not endured that, I mean, like, I've gone through the same shit in New York. But at times that's not coming from I mean, I don't take it as like, oh, these people like are coming from a position of hate. Like when I have my brothers who I build with coming up in the game, like in New York City, and they have bad things to say about Puerto Ricans. I mean, that doesn't mean that all black people don't like Puerto Ricans, or that doesn't mean that my brothers who are black of New York City love me any less based on the fact that I'm Puerto Rican. They can be critical of Puerto Ricans. I mean, like, is that like a problem? Like, is that a problem if you're critical of a race? That'd be like me, like, I mean, I've seen a lot of people basically post 2020, like they try, like, with like Asian communities, if you will, like, oh, like, saying that Asian people are smart is like an insult, like, to Asian people, or saying Asian people like are good at math is an insult to Asian people. I mean, it's almost like as if people want to frame things in a sense of you can't speak on anybody else unless you're of that race, and that's just corny to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you could speak on whatever the hell you want, and I mean, honestly, like, no subject with me is verboten. If you feel like you have a theory as to why Puerto Ricans are away, I mean, and you want to air it out, go ahead and air it out. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, what I don't like though is that, I mean, coming up in the streets, and I say this a couple times in my live stream, like, in the streets, or in reality, if you will, more so in the streets, like, growing up in the streets, like, I mean, like, herbs or like dorks, they really couldn't give input. Like, it wasn't like, if I had, like, my friends are 100% either black or Latino, but whether that if we're discussing stuff, like, and a herb would get get out of line and try to enter the cipher and give his input, like they would get shut down just on the basis of like, all right, you can't build with real dudes. You're a herb. Like you have no say in this conversation. But you have a lot of clats online that feel like they're the arbiter of all things like to do with race, and be able to let it off as much as they want just on the basis of the fact that they happen to be black online. Like but I treat everybody online as if I don't know who you are, period. Like you could be white claiming to be black, you could be Latin claiming to be black. In fact, some herb who I know is a troll does fake accounts, like acting like he's a Spanish person and just be saying like wild shit, like racist stuff, as if he's a Latino. This person's been exposed not by me, like as far as stirring shit up racially. He'll talk about like black people bad, like as a troll account, fronting like he's a Latino dude. And I actually, if you look at my live stream yesterday, you'll see who I'm talking about. It's some cat who uses the handle Jose Chavez, but he'll say a bunch of spicy shit, acting like he's a Latino dude, like hating on like black people. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's like, I'm not saying that, you know, oh, that's why there's bad online race relations because of online trolls. No, I mean like but people like that, like online, you know, like that just stir shit up, you know. You almost like gotta at times, like, you know, contend with that or defend, like, you know, the fact that, you know, you're coming from a place of love and not like racism and shit before you discuss stuff. And it's because of people online like that. I mean, like, everybody online is a revolutionary all of a sudden. Everybody online like fucking goes through like shit, like racist shit every day, it seems like. And I'm starting like I don't believe a lot of shit, honestly. Like, does racism exist? Hell yeah. I mean, like, I've been racist upon by white cops many times. I've had my ass kicked twice by white cops, you know. But I'll have somebody online, I mean, who probably his racist experience was with some fucking dude in the shipping department at his job, and he don't say shit in real life, like to the guy from shipping department, to fucking Neil over at shipping, who he feels is a racist. But then they want to get online and play the revolutionary, and then like, nah, you can't say this, like, you can't say that. Nah, homie, like, you know, at the end of the day, anybody can say anything. Like, you know, I you know, even if you feel a way regarding my heritage or Puerto Rican heritage, like, I mean, if you have experiences in which Puerto Ricans or Latin dudes played you, I mean, like, fucking let it be known. I mean, like, but honest, like, I come from the perspective as if like most cats don't know the dynamic between black and Puerto Ricans in NYC. And I say black and Puerto Ricans, not black and Latinos specifically, because blacks and Puerto Ricans my whole life have been dealing with each other in NYC, even though we have different cultures. You know what I'm saying? And I say that from my experience, or I say that as far as black and Latino, Puerto Rican relationships in NYC, because that's all I grew up with. You know, like, and our dynamic as far as New York goes is different, because blacks and Puerto Ricans in New York City have been around each other, building with each other since at least the 60s. You know, and a lot of people don't know that dynamic. A lot of people think that in New York, a lot of people think that Puerto Ricans are just like a different offshoot of light-skinned Mexican dudes or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, whereas like in New York, yeah, we got Mexicans, but Puerto Ricans ain't building with these dudes, bro. Like, you know, we build with black cats any day of the week more than we build with Mexican dudes in New York City. Honestly, and I got mad love for Dominican cats. I have a lot of Dominican cats in my crew, but I mean, like, Dominican cats or Puerto Rican cats mess with black cats probably more than they do Dominican cats. At least, and if that's changed, it's more of a recent trend. But that doesn't mean that we have some sort of rivalry with like black cats en masse, besides on some gang shit. And not everybody Latin like is in gangs. One, not everybody could speak on gang shit unless you lived it. You know, like I've like a lot of like people like want to remix even gang history, like but you know, I like a lot of people want to contend shit that they're learning online as if it's fucking you know, the history that they grew up with. Like, nah, my man, like you're regurgitating history that I just heard somebody else regurgitate for the first time online this year. You know what I'm saying? Like similar to the FBA shit. Like I didn't hear nothing about no FBA shit up until recently. And I mean, like, yes, it's a terminology, but like I'm not gonna use FBA to refer to black people of America, because I don't even like to use the term black people of America any longer. You know, like I mean, like black people of America aren't all the same, and that's not saying I'm talking about African Americans or like what people would term as African Americans in America. Like I don't think all African Americans are the same, not one iota. You know, like that's you know, based on Moorish history, and if you which is the lens in which I look at all history in this country from here on out, 2025 and beyond. No, not because it's convenient to my debate. It's because history's a goddamn lie. There were black people in America before there were Indians in America. There was a great civilization in America before there was any civilization that was white in America, that was Indian in America. That's the lens in which I'm looking at history nowadays. I mean, like, and if you want to contend against Moorish history, I mean, like, you know, I'm not the arbiter of Moorish history. You know, go contend it with the person that I feel is the most on point with that history, which is Asir the Duke of Tears. Please check out his work. He's on YouTube. He does videos weekly. He makes a lot of sense of this nonsense, and and he actually has spoken of very subject that I just mentioned, in that like they always want to remix what black people should be called, and a lot of times I don't even feel it's coming from black people. Like I don't feel like a lot of times that black people are the ones that come up with this new terminology that try to funnel people into like, no, I feel like at times, like sometimes outside influences, like probably throw some payola to a cat like Tariq Nasheed to come up with the term, like for people to start calling themselves. And then, like, you know, and like same thing with ADOS. I mean, like during COVID, I remember a lot of cats refer to themselves as ADOS, and now it seems like it's okay to shit on the term ADOS to a degree, because of the founder of ADOS has some, like, was noticed to be a schemer. So like I guess that whole wave dies because they find out the founder is doing something unscrupulous. So why should, like, if I would have been a fool to refer to black dudes as ADOS when like the terminology has already changed? So now if I say like, like the black brothers in this country are of ADOS, I'm gonna have some other cat like say, oh no, you're wrong. Like, you know, like now you know, we're foundational black Americans. But let's say like Tariq Nasheed does something suspect in the future, or Tariq Nasheed is found out to be a schemer. So then in 2025 is gonna be some new terminology, and like if you use FBA, or like I could totally see people saying, nah, we're not referring to ourselves as that no more. Why? Oh, because, you know, Tariq Nasheed was found out to be, like, you know, suspicious, or so now we ain't doing all that. Like, we ain't doing all that. Like, I can't refer to every black dude in this country as just black. You know what I'm saying? Like, fucking that's like, that's some colorable law shit, like, that I don't utilize. And I believe that's Mr. Bruce Cass. Peace to you, Bruce Cass, for coming through. But nah, like, you know, I just don't like where people feel the need to, like, try to check somebody else as to what they can and can't say, like, because it doesn't happen in reality. Like, I mean, in my real life or in reality, like, if somebody tries to check, like, you can't say this or you can't say that, I mean, like, the asshole version of Foul Player or the younger version of Foul Player would have kept saying it just on the principle that you're telling me not to. You smell me? Like, so I mean, like, you know, and I say that more as in, I just don't want to be limited as to what I can say. But, you know, a lot of times these debates, even among black brothers talking amongst themselves, gets tied up in the minutia of, like, people trying to check what other people should and shouldn't be saying. Oh, you know, like, and, you know, and it just causes more factions. It just causes more stupidity. You know what I'm saying? Like, anybody could say whatever the hell they want, even if it's like, and I always use the like, the example of, like, racist. Like, even racist people should not be censored. In my world, racist people shouldn't be censored. Let them say whatever the fuck they want. Wouldn't you rather, like, somebody, you know, that somebody's racist, rather than, like, saying, like, you know, like, I found out that these people are racist after the fact, like, basically, like, all right, these people rocked us to sleep and we didn't know they were racist until they did this, you know? We just saw that with the last election. A lot of people were questioning, like, you know, like, the Liberal Party or the DNC, because they were, damn, everybody's driving like fucking shit today, dogs. What's up? A lot of people were feeling as if the Democratic Party was shitting on black people because they were putting more emphasis on illegal migrants getting benefits instead of, like, black people getting benefits, you know. And that switched it up to where a lot of people were like, you know, we're not rocking with the DNC or with the Democrats any longer, because of we're starting to see that they don't really got love for black people. Like, they have more love for illegal migrants than they do black people. But, you know, leave it to a lot of people and they feel like there's nothing racist about, like, liberal Democrats. When I've lived among liberal Democrats my whole life, I've seen many liberal Democrat judges put friends of mine under the jail for the rest of their life. You know what I'm saying? A liberal Democrat judge just put my brother in jail. My brother's in jail as we speak. 2 years. You know what I'm saying? Like, for parole offenses. Whereas everybody in New York right now is committing some sort of crime, especially illegal immigrants, and they walk right out the jail, like, same day. You know what I'm saying? Like, but black dudes are still going to getting thrown into the jail. I mean, you think that's conservative Republican judges that are doing it in New York? Absolutely not. Like, everybody within the judicial system and political system in New York City are bleeding heart liberals, who happen to be white for the most part. The people that really run it, they don't got love for us. I mean, they don't got love for Puerto Ricans. They don't got love for black people. I mean, like, they got more love for illegal immigrants that are just coming into the country, into black communities of New York City, and black people don't want them there, and that's fantastic. Like, I was thoroughly excited by the prospect of minority groups in New York, like Dominican cats, Puerto Rican cats, black cats, all taking a stand and saying, like, nah, we don't like these people, these newcomers coming into our communities. And it pretty much changed the dynamic of New York City over a couple of months, like, to where, like, you know, people were voting differently, and that pretty much changed the dynamic of the country. I feel it's the reason why we have a new president. So I mean, like, yeah, we have the power to um, recognize things that are not beneficial to our community. But if we constantly get rocked to sleep by like, well, like, where do you stand on like race? Because I mean, a liberal Democrat, or a bleeding heart white liberal will basically say like, all like so-called minorities should be babied by us in perpetuity forever, and like no man who really has his nuts about him wants to be cared for by another group, in perpetuity. And my apologies, my friends. I'm actually driving in lieu to make a little business deal as we speak, so I needed the GPS. So if you hear the GPS part itself, I'm gonna look at the camera. I'm gonna look at the comments reluctantly. I mean, I shouldn't be doing it, but because I'm driving. But frack it. Established 1619. I ask respect. What trends do Puerto Ricans set in hip hop that the world follows? I mean, that's a loaded question, my brother. But the Puerto Ricans, as far as being the earliest participants of hip hop outside of black people, because once hip hop got started in 71, 72, we were posted up at the same time simultaneously. In New York City, there are no communities that have Puerto Ricans in which black people aren't in. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's, and especially in the Bronx, like, especially early on in the Bronx. Like, I mean, like, but like, our contribution, I mean, like, did we not contribute to b-boying? Did we not contribute to fucking to graffiti? Did we not contribute to MCing? Like, are there zero Puerto Rican MCs? Are there zero? Like, it's a corny debate, honestly. And at the end of the day, I mean, like, black. I mean, like, I have many of my black brothers online, and in reality, like, contend the notion that Puerto Ricans are black, or these people pretty much have the same ancestry as us, but like, when people wanna sow division, I mean, like, and then fuck, I missed my exit. We'll keep going though, but like, you leave it to online new school internet revolutionary types, and they want to set new rules as to what shit is. Which, I mean, I get it. Like, I mean, like, I do get, like, like, I'm never opposed to black people building with each other. Like, absolutely not. If they build with each other at the behest of, like, or if they like I don't see much of this stuff as like building. You know what I'm saying? Like, whereas like a lot of these things, like, I'll go back to my ADOS example. Like, how much was accomplished under the banner of ADOS before it was out like to be like, all right, we're not gonna rock with that movement no more. Like, was a school procured on the heels of the ADOS movement? Absolutely not. Like, was a new standard set on the heels of the ADOS movement? No way. The only the only place I see any sort of change is basically cats online who claim to be black, like, getting their feathers ruffled or looking for reasons to get their feathers ruffled. You know what I'm saying? Like, where I never like experienced that kind of spice in real life. And like, no, I didn't like grow up only around Puerto Rican. And I'm telling you guys personal story. I mean, personal history on my life. Like, I've been involved in gang life in the past since I was 14 years old. My gang life in the past has basically put me at a position in where I had to bang largely on Latin cats. Historically, I mean, like, anybody who knows who I am certified player, of Sunset Park, Brooklyn. Like, my neighborhood is not that large. I mean, people don't refer to me as Certified Player Brooklyn, but I have my picture in the profile and my thumbnail. I don't hide who I am. I've given out the street in which I hang in my neighborhood. I still go to my old neighborhood all the time. So your boy is a rider. Your boy is not a hider. I mean, like, so I say that to say, like, you know, my history as far as being a street person. I'm not the illest street dude in the world, but I ain't no pussy. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I've never received this kind of spice as far as, like, you know, people say. My bad, my peoples. I'm going to a new area of New Jersey. I mean, I'm copping olive oil. Like, olive oil, like, these are the moves I gotta make to keep my family afloat. I'm actually en route to 30 gallons of olive oil because seed oils are poisonous. And I found a good deal on Facebook Marketplace for olive oil, and I'm en route to get that now. But, you know, I just got, like, you know, I've taken it with a grain of salt in the past, but we're on the verge of a new year, baby. And in 2025, my
use the right lane to turn right on Cheesequake Morristown.
my whole tolerance for this stuff is becoming less limited. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have, like, cats coming out the woodwork. I mean, you ask, like, a lot of these cats that, like, you know, in panels that I've been on, like, to start listing, like, the racist stuff that they've been through, like, this year, and, like, they'll, like, fake, like, I mean, like, they'll act like, oh, what do you think? Like they don't want to give an example. You know what I'm saying? Or they try to avert the subject, because a lot of times, like, these dudes only live online. You know what I'm saying? Not like FBA, or not like black cats who throw shade in the game. I'm not saying that. I'm saying everything I see online, I treat it as if some, like, dork behind the screen, you know. So in the past, some dork behind the screen will say, like, you know, they don't say that because you know, you're not, like, black, and I'm getting more into the mode, like, of anybody to say whatever the hell they want. Like, damn, no, I'm not supposed to turn right here. Ugh, damn, I'm fucking up in the game, my peoples. Let me read some comments while I'm here, though. Let me see. They're getting warmed up for tonight. I asked respectfully. No, much love, but like, you know, Mr. Established 1619, like, in America, what original cultural style that Ricans came up with that everyone followed? I mean, we had reggaeton for a little while, which derived of Latin hip hop, and I'm a big time hater of reggaeton. Like, I have a cousin who's actually one of the OG, still active in the game though, Lito, MC Cassie, reggaeton artist. And my cousin, I mean, if you guys go look him up, I mean, like, Lito, MC Cassidy, the dude looks black. He got fucking dreads, like, fucking big ass dark skinned dude. If you were to see him, like, anywhere USA, you'd feel like the dude is a black dude. Like, I was just talking, you know what I'm saying? Like, in the Bronx, I mean, like, tons of places. Right now, I just came out of a parking lot and somebody wanted my spot, and I'm thinking, like, son is black. Like, you know, he's asking me if I'm getting out the spot, and I was like, yeah, I'm getting out. And he could tell I'm a Latin cat, so he responded, like, by saying tato, like, you know, like, which basically means, like,
turn left on this railroad.
Like, basically means, like, oh, like, good looking out, like, in Spanish. But, you know, you can't really disseminate, like, I felt like, you know, I'm just listing off my experience. Like, if you're, like, living around, like, cholo Mexican type dudes, like, this shit ain't the same. Like, you know, like, Mexican, like, we have Mexican dudes that moved into New York City. Like, we ain't rocking with these dudes like that. Like, Puerto Rican cats, like, will deal with black cats 100 times more than they deal with Mexican cats. Dominican dudes in New York City, which, again, it's not my culture. Like, Dominicans are a different nationality altogether. But leave it to them. Like, I mean, like, do Dominican cats in New York City fucks with Mexican cats more, or do they fucks with black cats no more? Like, they fuck with black cats 100% of the day, 100% more than they do with Mexican cats. And a lot of these dudes don't even speak English. You know, like, they have the bond of speaking Spanish, Dominican cats, Mexican cats, but Dominican cats will build with black cats 100% of the time in New York City more than they do with a Mexican cat. Like, we view them as outsiders. But you know, it's a different dynamic that I grew up with. If you deal with Latinos like in fucking Sandusky, Ohio, or in the Midwest, or fucking down south, I mean, like, you're dealing with different, like, I mean, like, I don't feel a lot of times that these dudes are dealing with Puerto Rican dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I'm more explaining things from the perspective of a New York cat from Puerto Rico. And again, another thing too, Fat Joe don't represent all Puerto Ricans, bro. I don't fucks with Fat Joe like that. As far as his music goes, I never thought Son was talented like that, personally. You know, I don't like, and I'm not one of these dudes. Oh, but he put on for Puerto Rican, so you gotta give him his flowers. Nah, not one iota. Like, I'm a hip hop fanatic. You get credit for being nice with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, the dude ain't nice, like, in my eyes. Let me keep reading some of these comments. My apologies again. I'm driving, bro. We don't care. I mean, like, then listen to something else. You had what? I don't know what you're referring to. If you could repeat like your question. I mean, I'm pretty sure you're alluding to something I've said in this live stream. But if you, I'll answer any questions. I mean, and I do apologize though, whether you're coming in here to hate or like show love, whatever, or just have a regular debate or conversation. You know, I'm glad you're here regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like, fucking, I'd rather have a back and forth rather than me just talking. And I want to see what this comment that's held for review says. Like, you got black guys who is Latinos? Absolutely. Like. And let me put that. Let me show that comment. Like, absolutely, there's black dudes that are Latino. My brother Carmelo is a fucking black Latino dude. Like, fucking like, my brother looks straight up black. You know what I'm saying? Like, fucking my older brother. My granddad looks fucking straight up black. Fucking Herminio Sierra. My cousin, who's an artist, who I just mentioned, MC Cassie. It's like MC and then the words, the letters KC, or Lito y Polaco. Like, that's the group that my cousin is a part of. It's a two-man group, and he's been in the game as a Latin rapper in addition to as a reggaeton artist. But Son looks black. I mean, like, if you were to see him like out in the field, I mean, like, you wouldn't say, oh, this dude's Puerto Rican. Like, dudes are bugging, bro. Like Son I just ran to in the gas station, he's a Latin cat. He looks black as fuck too. I mean, like y'all like are set tripping online. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, I'm not like, I don't want to play the tough guy in any of this stuff, but in New York City, if you were to try to flex and say, I like Latin dudes aren't this or aren't that, or Puerto Rican dudes, like, you know, like, they can't speak on this, like, people would laugh at you or likely hurt you, honestly, because we're part of the culture. I mean, like, whether you like it or not, like, we get hemmed up by the cops at the same rate as black dudes do. We smoke Newports like black dudes do. We eat fucking cheese doodles and grape soda like black dudes do. We shitty ass fucking rib tips like from the Chinese spot like black dudes do. Peep that Big Pun song, that end shit from his second album. Fantastic track. But you know what I'm saying? Like, the gang that I was in was fucking a black gang. Like, fucking, like, which had a lot of Puerto Rican, which had a lot of Latin dudes. Like, it only becomes a point of contention online. And like, I don't want to make it seem also like like there's 100% of the time it's this kumbaya relationship between like or like between all these cultures. I mean, nah. I mean, when Puerto Ricans beef with Dominican dudes, you don't think that Puerto Rican dudes be saying racist shit? What like about like Dominicans? Like if we're beefing with them, come on, like that's realistic. And do I expect like do I not think that black dudes say racist shit in the midst of in a heated argument or in passing? Do I think that there's like could we you like do people want to contend the notion that there's zero black people in existence that are racist against Puerto Ricans? Like a fantasy land. Do I want to contend the notion that there's Puerto Ricans that don't fuck with black people outright or that are racist against black people? That would be a fantasy. Like that, like of course there's racist Puerto Ricans, but there's racist everything. Of course there's black people that are 100% official. I'm friends with many of them and I grew up with many of them. But are they like that? Does that mean that everybody black is official? Absolutely not. Does that mean that everybody Puerto Rican is official? Hell's no. Like come on, like people gotta live in reality. I just don't like it like to where I'm giving my perspective of hip hop because I grew up in hip hop since the 80s, early 80s, where I thought Rob Bass was like commercial, where I thought like Milk D. After a while, I'm like, yo, this song's like way played out. Like this Kid and Play, that's commercial rap. Like as a youngster, you know what I'm saying? Like I've been entrenched in hip hop culture since day 2, you know, and I'm an 80s baby. But then I'm gonna have like some fucking cornball like dude tell me like what I can and can't say, like fucking just because he's black, like, or he has more authority to speak on like hip hop culture than me, like a dude who's like known about hip hop fucking since pre-Run DMC. I mean like fucking you crazy. You know, a lot of these dudes are finding their culture online. Like, you know, I live hip hop culture. You know what I'm saying? Being hip hop, like hip hop culture's be like giving it up, don't be a biter, fucking keep it real. You know what I'm saying? Like fucking do Puerto Ricans not give it up? I mean like give me many examples of Puerto Ricans not giving it up or being pussy. You know what I'm saying? Like fucking like dudes like are revising history like fucking and for the sake of trying to set divisions. Did black people invent hip hop? Absolutely. Like 100%. Black people came up with every facet of MCing, you know, like I don't know if black people invented graffiti, like I don't know. Did black people invent DJing? Very likely. But were Puerto Ricans around since day 1 in hip hop? What, like, it's undebatable. Look at how Bronx River projects are laid out, or look at project, because I mean now there's a debate that it didn't start in Bronx River. Like, all right, so whatever project like it came out in the Bronx first, as far as when hip hop first started, like if like which first started in party settings. It didn't like it wasn't created in some lab or in a room, like all like a couple of black dudes like gathered up in a room or in some sort of meeting and say, all right, like this is hip hop, and like, you know, in 1971, and these are the rules, and then let's go give it out to the public. No, hip hop was invented, created in party settings. And were there party settings in the Bronx that black people were having where Puerto Ricans weren't in attendance or involved? That's ridiculous. That would be like saying that fucking pigeons don't exist in New York City. I mean, like, we're everywhere in New York City. Puerto Ricans, just like black people, are everywhere in New York City. And wherever Puerto Ricans are, including Spanish Harlem, black people are. Black Rob, famous rapper, is from Spanish Harlem. You know what I'm saying? Like fucking it's I say it more as a perspective of a New Yorker too. Like, you know, New York invented hip hop, If there was no NYC, hip hop would have not sprouted off in the South. Hip hop would have not taken off like fucking in West Coast. Nah, it had to come from New York City. You smell me? Like fucking hip hop feels New York, especially early hip hop. Like yes, New York fell off entirely, and that's not because of lack of talent. New York still has the illest MCs anywhere. You know, if you gave us the opportunity to run with it, New York still has the illest MCs. But I think a lot of these people are trying to skew the game to try to make it seem like, you know, hip hop was created somewhere else other than New York City in 1971 and 1972. That's my utter contention. You know, it's not shitting on black people. No, Puerto Ricans did not have an equal footing or sharing of. Damn, I'm fucking like not paying attention to where I got to go.
Turn left on State
Oh,
Road
here we go.
18 south toward Freehold.
Let me go in there. Sorry. Yeah, but let me while I'm now that I'm at a red light, we fucks with y'all. Let's see. Ryan Jackson, facts, Big Whopper. Why don't they understand that? Let's not act like Ricans, Dominicans who call us cocolos don't want us in your neighborhoods. I mean, like, does that happen? Like, what neighborhoods are you speaking of, though? Like, tell me the New York neighborhoods in which black people aren't in. You know what I'm saying? Outside of maybe Washington Heights, but there's a ton of black people in Washington Heights, bro. Dudes are bugged out. But yeah, and like I mean, like, and people act like there's never a time in which black people in New York City or anywhere else like take shots at Puerto Ricans. Like, I mean, am I like, do I stop having love for my black brothers who I grew up with, like in my building, on my block, in my crew, just because like fucking somebody's gonna say some like fucking some racist shit towards Puerto Rican? Absolutely not, bro. Like fucking and honestly, like we would joke about that shit all the time, like fucking jokes based on like the fact of ethnicity. Who cares, bro? Like fucking but give me examples of like, I mean, like, please, like, you know, name examples of where like there's this rift, you know, in New York City between Puerto Ricans and black dudes, or between Hispanic dudes and black dudes. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how far I am from my destination. And I'm not from this area, my peoples. I actually live in New Jersey now. I mean, like, I would never live in New York.
Turn right on Pleasant
New York has turned into an abject shithole. And I got all the love in the world for New York. I mean, I want to win. I'm just not living there any longer. My mom Duke still live in the projects in New York, but Surf-Out Player can't live in the hood any longer, bro. Like there's no fun in living in the hood anymore. Like, fuck haircuts. Like, yeah, the best barber's on the hood. Alright, they could keep the bar. I cut my own hair. I don't know how far I am from the destination. But before I make this deal, I gotta cut the camera. I'm gonna cut this stream off. Yeah, I mean, like, you know, we could disagree. I don't care. Like, I mean, like, much love. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't change my perspective on black people as a whole. Like, oh, like, this black person online, like, doesn't feel a way about Puerto Ricans. Like, nah, bro. Like, that, like, the internet is not reality. In reality, from 2025 and beyond, black people are always gonna fuck with Puerto Ricans and vice versa. Yes, we have different cultures, but ain't no set tripping on that shit to that form. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm telling you from the perspective of real life shit, like bust your gun shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, where like the dudes I'm riding on in real life, like in my past, were fucking 90% of them were Puerto Rican cats. You know what I'm saying? Like fucking but and I'm not saying that for the sake of this video. I'm saying that you go to Sunset Park, Brooklyn, and like ask. I mean, like I'm like, you ain't gonna find no skeletons on me, like fucking saying like fucking all the dudes a pussy or like fucking nah, like dude was riding on black people, like never. You know what I'm saying? Like homeboy was building with black people. In fact, my best friend just had his birthday party. I couldn't go. My best friend who's Dominican, shout out to my man Soul of Love, just had his birthday. But I mean, like when and he posted up his pictures in my hood of all old crew, and pretty much everybody there besides like two heads all fucking were black cats. Like everybody, like maybe 2 or 3 cats were Latin dudes. Like the other 15 fucking my brothers were fucking black dudes, bro. Like dudes are bugged out, bro. Like you, and I'm not gonna be swayed by some sensitive internet cat who, I mean, yes, may have experienced racism like this calendar year, this decade, but when you experience racism in real life, Mr. Computer Person, I'm not like saying anybody in my comments or, but like, do you cuff off on racist dudes? Like when that you know of, like the racist cat at your job? Like, do you just give him a little bit of sassiness? Like, or do you tell him like, listen, you're a racist ass dude. We're gonna meet after work, and I'm gonna knock your ass the fuck out. I'm breaking fucking teeth from your mouth. I mean, if you ain't doing this at every turn, I mean, or you ain't not like, don't try to play it like, all right, like this is the most important shit. Like as far as like my standing in race goes, or my standing in as far as my blackness is the most important thing to me because of these racism that exists out in the world. But you don't play that shit out in your real life. Like you know, if you got played by Neil, at the white guy Neil from your job over at HR, and you fucking didn't say shit because you wanted to keep your job, don't say shit to me. I might, you know what I'm saying, like in as to what I can and can't speak of on race relations. When fucking I mean, there are black dudes that are fucking, I mean, there are black dudes that are Puerto Rican. There are Puerto Rican dudes that are black. Can't be debated.
Use the left lane to turn left on West Greystone Road.
Damn, I think I may be getting close to my destination. I wasn't supposed to go this way, but wrong lane. This is the fucking country in New Jersey. But and it's more of a, and honestly, a lot of these things, I'm saying it more as to what my standard is gonna be like, you know, moving forward. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's not like and it's not like to prop up Puerto Rican cats, not one bit. It's honestly more to make things clear of where Puerto Rican, especially in New York City, especially in the hip hop culture, stand. You know what I'm saying? Like the Mexicans in the world, Mexicans in America far outnumber Puerto Ricans in America. Do Mexicans contribute more to hip hop than Puerto Ricans? That's a ridiculous notion, and nobody would contend that. Like that sounds retarded. And like a lot of our contribution, honestly, is just from the fact that we were around since day one. We loved it since day one. Like Puerto Ricans hip hop didn't have to grow on Puerto Ricans. Like Puerto Ricans were there from Jump Street. Like, did every Puerto Rican fuck with it from Jump Street? No. But did a lot of them do? I mean, did a lot of them fuck with hip hop from Jump Street? Absolutely. I mean, in the 70s in the Bronx, I mean, there's a ton of people that are Puerto Rican and black as both their heritage. There's a lot of dudes that I know that are Puerto Rican and black who only claim black, and that's alright, bro. Like fucking, it is what, you know. Like, I hate using the term "it is what it is," but you know that's what they like. What they, and you know, they wouldn't walk amongst black circles and somebody finds out like, all right, like this dude's like Carmelo Anthony, for instance. I'll use that as an example. A fellow Brooklynite like myself, who came up in Red Hook, Brooklyn, not too far from the cribs, not too far from my hood. Would somebody tell Carmelo Anthony, nah, you can't speak on black shit because you're half Puerto Rican, like that'd be like some corny. Like if you said that shit around like and not because Carmelo Anthony's a celebrity. If you were to tell a half black, half Puerto Rican dude in New York City, or most places in America, honestly, like stop fronting. Like you can't speak on black issues because you're half Puerto Rican. Like that wouldn't happen, bro. Like so, like we gotta like stop living in fantasy standards, in fake fucking internet revolutionary standards. Everybody in the internet is a fucking expert. Everybody in the internet is doing the most. Like like you may have done this, but I did it a little bit more than you did. How could you prove that? I can't prove that. No, like I'm playing the role of somebody who damn, I gotta cut the stream off soon, bro, because I'm wasting gas. And one thing about Certified Player of Brooklyn, if you guys don't know, is that I'm cheap. Or cheapskate is my religion. And the fact that I spent $2 or $3 extra on gas because I've taken some wrong turns will frustrate me into 2025. But I gotta be cognizant of the GPS lady's instructions because I want to get to where I gotta go. Plus I want to go home and eat.
Use the left lane to turn left on County Road 615.
I'm gonna read some of the comments too, but nah, I'm just doing a lot of these streams more as to like, you know, dudes ain't gonna like try to play us on this shit, like on these new fake standards that internet idiots want to try to develop in real time. You know what I'm saying? We fucks with y'all, but y'all have to check ones in your circles with the racist disrespect. I mean, like fucking how do you know we don't? And like, I mean, like, you know, like, has there been times where people like black cats that I know and that I don't know shit on like Hispanic people or have critiques on like Puerto Ricans? Like, does that like make every black dude racist against Puerto Ricans? Not, absolutely not, bro. You know, let me see. Big Wapo, you got it, cause we.
Stay to the left to County Road 615, Manalapan Road.
Okay, I'm in the right track. I'm gonna read some of the comments while I'm going on the slow road. As a black American, would I be able to participate in reggaeton? Absolutely, absolutely, dogs. There's fucking black. I mean, one of the first mixtapes that came. I believe it was produced by Echo, the brand, like the clothing company, where they had Puerto Rican rappers and black rappers together before, and a lot of these Puerto Rican rappers, like Daddy Yankee, became reggaeton artists after the fact. But would black people be able to participate in reggaeton? Absolutely, dogs. Like, come on. Like, black people invented reggaeton. Like, our black reggaeton came from dembow, which is a reggae, as in Jamaican reggae song that came out in the 80s or 90s, and they used that same dembow beat over and over and over. I don't like fucking reggaeton like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, but have there been remixes like with black people in reggaeton? Come on, is Nori black? Like, ask yourself that. Like, Nori's half black, half Latino, and he looks more Latin than like say my older brother. Like, is Nori a black? Could Nori speak on black issues? I mean, like other, like, would anybody check Nori for saying speaking on black issues other than like some internet herb? You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, bro. Like, we don't stop people from participating in our culture. I mean, like, our culture is black. Puerto Ricans consider like our history that is told to us, which I don't 100% like. Again, I go off the Moorish history, but this is not Moorish history, because I believe that the black people that were in this country before the Native American Indians, or so-called Native American Indians, the societies that existed in America were likely Moors. And this is pre 1492. This is pre discovery of America. Um, but the accepted history of Puerto Ricans is that we're a mix of African, um, Spaniard, and fucking Native American Indian. Now I like that Native American shit. I don't believe in Native Americans. I think natives of the original Americans are black people or were black people. You know what I'm saying? Like fucking but the accepted history or the fake history, whatever, is that we're a mix of the three. You know, like or but so wherever like our culture is a black culture. I mean, like, or a so-called black culture. I don't even want to use the term black for my American black brothers any longer. Like sometimes I say Native Americans, but I don't know. Like I just can't flux with it. Again, like I'm uh, a avid connoisseur of Moorish history as it is explained by Asir the Ducatiers. Please, if you guys could, please check out Asir the Ducatiers, one of the illest brothers online. I mean, Asir the Ducatiers was around before the like conscious community started calling itself the conscious community. Man, look at how nice this shit is, bro. Look how great Jersey is. Motherfucker got a bench right there, a little pond. Let me read some of the comments while I wait, though. I mean, while I New York is a small area of the United States. I mean, it is, but at the end of the day, everybody's jocking New York City stilo. Stop fronting. Like, dudes would not wear Timberlands if it wasn't for New York. Like, dudes would probably still be wearing tight clothes if it wasn't for New York. Like I see a lot of New York hate, honestly. I mean, I go throughout the country. I have friends that are not from New York. You know, black cats, people that love hip hop, but there's a lot of obfuscation of the history of New York's contribution, and a lot of these debates are honestly like a revision of where New York stands in the hierarchy of hip hop. If you want to say like same shit, like I would contend with who gets participation credit in terms of hip hop. Like the South got hip hop way after New York got hip hop. When I went to Florida when I was a kid, like I mean, like even Miami bass music wasn't popping off like that out there. Like dudes were listening to fucking corny ass 80s music, you know, like rap was a novelty. Whereas already at that time when I went to Orlando in 1990, 91, I mean, like hip hop was my culture through and through. Hip hop was my standard through and through. You know what I'm saying? Like fucking New York have the rest rappers, bro. The South. I mean, like so what about Trinidad James? What about Gucci Mane? If anything, the rap got fucked up when it went to the South. Like the South was the beginning of the end of rap. Like the South fucking allowed for dudes like Soulja Boy to exist. You know what I'm saying? Like fucking I remember coming up in the game as whack rappers got no burn. Now it's like, all right, like what this dude's whack. We know Soulja Boy's whack, but you know, we fucked with him. You know, he makes us dance. Like, nah, bro. You like how corny is that, bro? Like so New York didn't fuck up like the trend as far as hip hop goes. And hip hop honestly is a dying, if not dead, art form. In my mind. I don't even fuck with new rap no more. I should keep that shit. But New York definitely didn't fuck up rap. I mean, if anything, the beginning of fucked up rap started with a New York rapper. Yes, 50 Cent was the beginning of the end of rap because 50 Cent was rapping like a Southern dude. Like rapping with a drawl and shit, even though he's from New York. Or rapping in that sing-sangy, like twang style, like fucking and it pretty much gave a venue for the top rapper at that time, and one of the top rappers now in 50 Cent, to kind of like usher in like the shitty standard of what rap has become today, honestly. And I'm not shitting on the South. Andre 3000 is one in my top 5. You know what I'm saying? Like, but it is what, like, that's a fact, honestly. Like, I fucking missed my spot more than once already, bro. I gotta dead this stream. Listen, I'll go live again this evening if you want to contend anything I say. In fact, I'll do it like I did yesterday. I'm gonna put the link out when I get to the Cribbos. And I'll continue the stream. I'm sorry I couldn't read a lot of the comments. I'm fucking driving with a selfie stick like a fucking herb. But and I'm not very tech savvy also, my peoples, and I'm also cheap, so I don't want to pay for StreamYard subscription, but I got time in my StreamYard, and I'll use it this month so I can put the link out there. If anybody wants to contend what I'm saying outside of the comment section, I mean, you're more than welcome. It's all love too. I mean, I have no anonymity with fucking any of the group. Like, if you want to contend on some South shit, like, go ahead. Like, I don't got no beef with the South. I'm big. Like, I fucking showed much love to the South when they came out, to the Dungeon family, Pastor Troy, fucking 3-6. I still fucks with 3-6 too. You know, like but if you want to contend anything I say, but you know, I ain't gonna allow for no BS history though. Like, you know, oh, the first rapper was fucking Hanky fucking from Texas because he fucking scattered a little bit on a record, like fucking, or on a TV show one time, like fucking in the 50s, and that means that's the beginning of hip hop. Nah, we ain't doing all that. We ain't revising history here, like fucking but we could build on these things and debating thoroughly, like, you know. Damn, I got a lot. Like, let me read some of these comments before I dip though. You just talking about nothing. I mean, like, right, you were in my stream yesterday. I mean, like, you should have pulled up. FBA culture. FBA culture started in 2024, my brother, because nobody was saying FBA prior to 2023, 2024. Latinos play FBA culture. Not one iota, my brother. Or Puerto Ricans give it up just as much as black dudes do my whole life. I mean, like, could we, like, give us evidence of where we're not keeping it real, like fucking, or we're not some thorough ass street dudes in New York City. Hip hop is street culture. I mean, do Puerto Ricans have no say in fucking street culture in New York City? That'd be a ridiculous notion. I mean, like, Dominicans do it. Dominicans give it up. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, fucking, are they not part of the street culture in New York? Jamaicans cosplay as FBA culture. You crazy, bro? Like, there's a lot of rappers that are Caribbean that you guys don't even know they're Caribbean, bro. There's dudes in the boot camp that are Caribbean. Fucking Lord Jamal rapped with if I remember correctly, Sadat X is part Dominican. You know, like dudes are just fucking wanna get away with closeted distaste for Latino dudes because fucking they just feel like they get away with it online. Nah, you sound Italian, bro. I mean, I don't know, but nah, honestly, I try like to enunciate where I speak. I try not to speak hood honestly no more, like, because I'm a businessman, my friends. Like, I have the ability to chop it up with fucking whoever. And honestly, like, if I come speaking on some hood shit, like the way I'm speaking now, like, I don't even speak like that in a business setting, like fucking but I know how to enunciate and in the sense of because it helps in a business setting, and I'm a man about business. This is not even your culture. I mean, it's probably not your culture too, bro. I mean, like, are you from New York City? Like, I'm speaking on my culture, which is hip hop culture. Like, get lost. But I'm gonna wrap it up here. Much love for anybody that came through. I mean, like fucking I like to build it, y'all. Even if y'all don't agree with me, fuck it. Like you will never get blocked on my shit unless like it's like overt racism where it'll get my channel fucked up. But if it's racism where you shit on Puerto Ricans, I mean, fucking fantastic, bro. Like I want for these things to be allowed on like Facebook, on fucking YouTube, as in outright racist talk. I'm cool with it. Like, listen, like a lot of times, like a lot of these dudes are gonna be saying shit about Puerto Rican dudes that they're gonna regret probably a month from now. I mean, and I'm not here to like, oh, listen, you said this last month and it was offensive. Like, and that's who you are in perpetuity. Nah, like fucking if you feel a way about Puerto Ricans because of the Fat Joe, I mean, whatever. Like fucking, that's on you. You know what I'm saying? Does that make you a shitty person? Like fucking, or that make you a racist in perpetuity or for the rest of your life? Like, nah. Like that's not true either. But let me dip off. Much love. If I don't come on before this new year ends, happy new year to you and yours. Much love, success, prosperity to everybody who's listening, and those who aren't listening will catch this after the fact, whatever the fuck. Much love to everybody. Yo, and like anybody who was here, Ryan Jackson, Dave Young, much love to y'all. Even if y'all don't agree with me, like fucking, at least I'm not talking to myself. I'd rather these things be conversations, and conversations are happening in the chat too. So I mean, like, that's fantastic, bro. Like you guys don't know how much help or how much love I feel just for y'all like even showing up. Don't just because you disagree with me, that doesn't mean don't show up in my other videos in the future either. Fucking but like I rather you show me like where you don't agree with me. Like that's okay. You know what I'm saying? Like, but let me dip off. Much love, guys. Peace.